Yes, it's finally here. I have never waited so long with such anticipation for an airsoft gun in my life. Oh my gosh, it took so long to arrive. It was ridiculous. It got to the stage where anytime I saw anything American on my TV, I'd be like, America, when is my Kriss Vector gonna come? I'd be walking down the street in Camden, in London, and right there, on the sidewalk, there's an American candy store. And I'm thinking, oh nice, let me go in, because I spent a lot of my youth in America, and I miss some of the candy that you used to be able to get. Although you can get most of it over here now in most supermarkets, but there's certain things you can't get. But if you go to this American candy store, you can get it. So yeah, I digress. Anything slightly American that I see in the UK, all I can keep thinking of is, where is my Kriss Vector? I'm tired of waiting. Where is my Kriss? Krytac. Now, that name there alone excites me. The reason being is that this is licensed by Kriss USA and made by their product development team, Krytac. So, technically, almost everything on this Airsoft AEG will be identical to the real steel. So, as you can see there, you get an instruction manual. Okay, we'll look at that later. There's a little rail. I believe that will go on the side of the Vector because I can see already it's got rails on the top and the bottom. Oh, and what I'm loving about this package already is, look at that. Not only do you get one cool Kriss Vector mag, look at that sticker. Extra magazine inside. So, here it is. Magazine number 2. Awesome. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe they did that because of the long delay in getting this bad boy out on the market. Or maybe Krytac just give you 2 extra mags anyway, or 2 mags, should I say. I don't know. What else? Well, there seems to be something here. What's this? Oh, okay, these are the Defiance flip-up sights. Now, they will look exactly like the real steel, but these ones are polymer, as far as I can see. I'd have to take my gloves off just to feel them properly, but I can see they're polymer. But obviously you can get the real steel metal or iron flip-up sights for your AEG. But I don't think I'm gonna bother. These will do just nicely. And there you go, there's your flip-up Defiance sights. Looks pretty much like the real steel version, and look, there's sections of the sight that are metal, so it's not fully polymer. So here she is in all her glory, the Kriss Vector. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through all the basic features that it has. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Have a quick look at the real steel. Now take a look at the Airsoft version. You see what I mean when I say this is as close as it's going to get, and it has to be as close as it's going to get, considering the people that made the real steel are the people behind this Airsoft version. Predominantly, this Kriss Vector is made out of polymer, but naturally there are, just like the real steel, many different metal parts on here. I can tell you straight away, the barrel is metal. You've also got many different metal pins all over the place. The rail, top rail, lower rail, and the extra rail that you saw me take out of the box that will simply slot there. If you're wishing to put other accessories on there, that rail as well is metal. And over on this side, the bolt release is metal.
Right, let's complete the picture. Let's get the mag in.
And it has all the markings as you would expect to find on the real steel mag. Satisfying click. And right here, as you can see, it comes with a foldable stock. And what I love about this stock, if I just fold it for you right now, it properly locks into place. Absolutely no wobble whatsoever. Now, just in case you're wondering, this sticker right here is warning you, telling you this is not a toy. I know real steel owners will say actually it is a toy, but what we're saying here, as we airsofters do know, that these can be dangerous if you're not wearing suitable eye protection. So yes, I agree, not a toy when it comes to safety. Now, let's get to it. What really excites me about this is the fire selector switch right here, because not only have you got your single shots, yeah, so your semi-auto, you've got your 2-round bursts, so you can go pop, 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 pop. Oh, anyway, and you've got your full auto. And another thing I absolutely love is that the actual safety mechanism is on a separate lever right here. And the great thing about this, it's a proper safety mechanism, because when you engage this, it actually disconnects itself from the battery. Now that's awesome.
Yes, it's basically like you are removing the battery from the AEG. There's no connection.
Now I want you to listen up really carefully, because I'm going to engage it right now, and there's not even any batteries in there, and you can hear the difference when I pull the trigger. So listen very carefully. Right now it's in fire mode, and listen to a very slight click. Now on this side of the Kriss Vector, as you can see right there on the real steel, obviously right here is where the shells will come flying out of this gun in the real world. Here, this is where you'll find your hop-up. Now to get to this hop-up unit, you can do it two ways. You can just do it the straightforward way, where right here there's a little lip, pull that up, it reveals your hop-up adjustment. Or if you're like me and you want that whole Kriss Vector experience, you can do it the tactical way, which is to grab, let me just spin it around so you can see. And that also reveals your hop-up adjustment. Nice.
And right here you've got your butt pad on this Gen 2 stock. And not just any old butt pad, because you can actually extend this.
Not by much, but you can extend it. And if you're wondering about sling points, well, you can see it right there. Now, if you're one of these lefties, don't worry, this Kriss Vector is almost 100% ambidextrous, because the safety lever right here, you've got it on the other side. Your fire selector switch right here, you've got it on the other side. Now, if you're wondering why I said almost 100% ambidextrous, is because the mag release is right here, but just on one side. But can you swap it out so it's on the other side? Well, I don't know really. I don't think so, because if you look at it, it's specially got a little indent or cutout for the mag release button, but there isn't one on that side. And also it applies to the charging handle. One side only, nothing on this side. But again, you don't really need it to open your port right here, because as I showed you, you can just do that manually. Now in terms of how it feels in your hands, I'm telling you right now, no joke, having a grip like this and then being able to hold it in the front like this, it is so comfortable. It is so CQB. So yes, very suitable for CQB, but when you're in those real extreme CQB situations, as I showed you before, you can fold a stock and it's practically the size of a large pistol in your hand. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a primary weapon. Right, so let's talk about the mag. The mag itself takes about 102 rounds, and I suppose this will be a good time to show you how to load the mag. And the cool feature about this, in my eyes, is that they've designed this so that you can actually shove a speed loader right down in that hole and fill the mag. This should accept one nicely, like a glove. Nice. Okay, so now we've got the mag sorted, we've got to give this Vector some juice. Now, to me, this is a very topical subject regarding the battery compartment. It's not got a lot of space. I'm going to call this battery gate, because before the Kriss Vector arrived, I bought one of these thinking this will fit. So there's the battery compartment, and to get it open, you see that little lever or latch right there. You just simply get your finger in, pull it back, and pull this section off. And there's your battery compartment. And there's your little Tamiya connection right there. Watch and weep. Fits in there nicely. No issues in terms of the thickness of the battery. Go down and look, it's too long. You couldn't even begin to try and force that in any further because you've also got the cables and the plugs to go in. Yeah, so no good. Wrong size. So then I went to my Airsoft armory and got out my smallest LiPo battery that I own, and I thought, come on, this one has to fit. Oh, this is ridiculous. Hold on. Ah, here we go. Now it is going in here, but it is very, very tight. In fact, it will go in and there will be enough room on top so that you can tuck your cables in and plug it up. However, getting it back out is ridiculous, and I don't think you should really have to struggle this much to put a battery in an airsoft gun or take one out. Because watch, I'm going to push it down. That's a very tight fit, and I'm not exaggerating. Now, you try and get your fingers down there to get that back out. Impossible. So the only thing you can do is grab hold of the cables and yank. And what do you think is going to happen sooner or later to this battery if you keep doing that? Exactly. And here it is. This is what I should have bought in the first place. An 11.1 volt battery. I believe the brand is VP. This is guaranteed to fit your Krytac Kriss Vector AEG. Now, you don't necessarily have to go for the same brand. You can get a different brand, but just make sure it's got these sort of dimensions. Now, as you can see there, I believe that is just a smidgen below or above 100 millimeters, and it's about 4 inches long. So whatever you do, whatever brand you go for, obviously go for a suitable voltage and milliamps, and make sure it's no longer than 4 inches. In terms of, let me see, width, we're looking at about
20 millimeters or 2 centimeters.
I'll hold it there for a few more seconds so you can take down the details, but if you look in the video description below, I'll also put the details there. Now, the easiest and simplest way of installing this, as I found for myself, is to partially put the battery in already, then connect her up, and it should all just slot in like so, ready for you to put the cap on. And if you look just here, in the section just there, there's a little separate groove that part of the cover goes down. So at least you know it won't be pinching the wires, and I think that's pretty cool. Okay, apart from the mag not being in just yet, it's almost ready for me to take it to the range. But I do need to tell you one other thing, one other cool feature about this safety lever. Now, I already told you about the cool features that this has, but it has another feature which I think is absolutely awesome. Not only does it disconnect the battery from the AEG, it also releases the spring. So when you have done playing for the day, or whenever, during gameplay where you need to put it on safe, it releases the tension on the spring, or it effectively decocks the gun. Awesome! Which kind of explains why, when I was first moving this lever, it almost felt as if there was like a 2-stage position. Because, I don't know if you can hear it, listen. Ah, did you hear that first click? And listen again. And then it moves further. So there's like a click halfway through the actual motion of moving this lever. Right. I love that sound. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm getting ahead of myself right here. Just before I take it to the range, look, I'll put the sights on. Very nice. And you can even change the sight aperture with this rear one by just flipping this up that way. Nice. And if I don't want to use these sights, remember in my Q&A answer video, I showed you this bad boy right here? Let's put it on. Nice. Now what else could I put on this? The Ace-Tech AT2000 Predator will probably look awesome on this too. Let me put the original flash hider back on and take it to the range. There's no denying it. This Krytac Kriss Vector looks sweet. Okay, so what I've decided to do, normally I will take it to my proper range, but that's very dingy and dark and all woodlandy, sort of green. No, I like this nice clinical clear background so you can see this bad boy in all its glory. But you know what, I haven't even tested it. I promise you, I haven't even pulled the trigger yet with the battery inside, so I don't even know if it works. Let's actually test this thing. So here we go, let's take it off safe. Right now it's in semi-auto, single shots. We just make sure this works. Oh, how snappy is that trigger? That is nice. Let me just do a couple more. Oh, that sounds like that will sting. Right, okay, let's go for a 2-round burst, see if that works. Okay, let's go full auto. Now I'm expecting this to be epic, considering how fast the 2-round burst came out of this AEG. Here we go. Whoa! Again. Oh, this is awesome. The rate of fire on that, I can't wait to chrono this thing. Let's just do a quick accuracy test and then we're gonna chrono it. Wow. Okay, I'm impressed, very impressed with that. Again, as always, this section of the target very small. The actual bullseye is about the size, well, a little bit smaller, or about the same size as the British 20 pence coin. And we're pretty much on target right there. I mean, I could have hit anywhere on this target and they were all pretty much on target, apart from this one stray one down there. Okay, let's chrono this thing. Very respectable results there. And that's exactly what I was expecting, because obviously these Kriss Vectors, well, the one I've got is part of the UK shipment of these AEGs, and they have to chrono around somewhere around 330, maximum 350, because that's pretty much what you're allowed at CQB sites in the UK. I will put information down below where it will show you that you can also get one of these Kriss Vectors and it could have maybe a lower FPS. For example, if you was to buy this in Japan, where the FPS legal limits are a lot lower, or if you're in the States and many other countries where the FPS limits are higher, your Kriss Vector will fire at a higher FPS. But for the UK market, perfect. Okay, let me just reset this, because right now I'm excited about the full auto. This thing sounds insane in full auto. Whoa! Ha! That is awesome. That is out of the box. That is no upgrades. That is standard stock out of the box. Awesome. It will be quite rude not to empty the mag. So let me just put the target back up. I'm not going to be aiming for any specific area. In fact, I'm just going to spray the entire A3 target until the mag is empty. The mag's out already. Such is the fire rate of this Kriss Vector. I absolutely love this. People, I now declare, and you're all my witnesses now, this is my new primary. Right, let's get it in that Newpro case. And of course, I'm going to be doing 1 or 2 other bits and pieces to it. And I might do 1 or 2 other things, but really stock out of the box. This is awesome. There you go, look. I haven't quite finished cutting out everything yet, but I'm going to probably put a couple more cutouts for 2 more mags. And there's the Vector sitting in there nicely and neatly.